when you're not making sales, the support
Mm,
is quiet. Knowing
mm,
why will ground you. It'll be your anchor and it'll keep you pushing. It'll keep that momentum. You'll
yeah.
keep just going, okay, I fell, but I'll pick myself back up. Know why you're doing something. Don't just do something just for the sake of doing something. Some people just do something because they just want to make money.
You know what? We about to take off.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Before We Take Off. I am your host, Mufaro, and it is a pleasure to be here with you today. If you're listening for the first time, welcome. If you are a return listener, thank you so much for coming back to the show again and again. Very quickly, I want to introduce my guest here today. I am joined by Ruvimbo, who is the founder of a cosmetics brand, Ruvé Cosmetics. Rue, how are you going today?
I'm doing quite well. Thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited for this conversation we're having today.
Thank you so much for joining me. I mean, yeah, like starting this podcast, I really wanted to speak to people essentially just like you, people who have got ideas, people who have got things that they're really passionate about and are working on. And so I'm grateful for you being here and sharing your story with us today. So let's kick it off. What's your story? Who were you before the brand? Who were you before Ruve Cosmetics?
Well, my background, I worked with young people. So I worked for a company called YLab Global for about 7 years, then decided to go into banking. So I'm a multifaceted person. I do a lot of different things, activist for Plan International and writing articles. So there's a lot of different hats that I wear, but the hat that I love the most is being a beauty founder. Ruvé Cosmetics is like my baby. And well, I do have a baby now because I've just become a mother. But Ruvé
Congratulations.
Cosmetics, yeah, thank you. But Ruvé Cosmetics is like my baby. And yeah, it's something that I wanted to build so everybody can have a seat at the table, especially in the beauty space, especially being in Australia, and seeing the beauty landscape in Australia. I really wanted to create something where everybody can have a seat.
That's so fantastic. And I guess in that mindset of trying to find a space where everyone can have a seat, was beauty always the plan, or did you have something else in the pipeline, or was it always just you were set on beauty and cosmetics?
Well, when I left high school, I actually went to study photography. And when I studied photography, I had this idea of creating like some sort of collective where I was the photographer and I was also doing beauty stuff, like I don't know, almost like a movie type thing, you know? So it's a big dream within itself. Because even when I finished doing my photography, I started taking pictures of people, and then all the skills that I learned from doing photography, I've then used it for my brand. I've always been interested in people. Like when I look at a person, I see a picture. So yeah, that's sort of how I've gotten into this space. And also because I love makeup, so it made sense for me to go into makeup. Yeah.
I guess as a child, were you always interested in like the creative side of things? Like when did you find that creative spark in yourself?
Um, well, recently my auntie in America actually showed me a picture of makeup that I did on my little sister. And I think I was probably 10 or something. Like I was really shocked that I was actually doing makeup on people when I was really younger. So yeah, I've always been a creative person. Love painting. I love colors. I see creation and it's beautiful. Like I can go out for a walk right now and I will be inspired by something. It's always been second nature to just be a creator. And makeup itself, you can literally do a lot of things with makeup. It's like you have paint and you have brushes and you can create a canvas. Your face is your canvas and you can explore different mediums. So yeah, that's kind of how I've come into this space.
You know, what was for you? What was the spark moment? What was the moment that Ruve became more than just an idea?
I think Because I actually started Ruvé Cosmetics when I was 23 years old. So in 2019 was when I decided to launch the brand. But the idea actually happened in 2017. I was at a work conference with my colleagues and I was just bouncing ideas off of them and asking them, like, what would it be like to build a beauty brand that actually shifted beauty standards? We were sketching product designs, throwing ideas around, and they really were encouraging. But even after that conversation that I had with my colleagues, I didn't take initiative until 2 years later. And it was, I had frustration with, like I mentioned, the beauty landscape in Australia. You can go into a makeup store and you won't see a diverse range of products. It was very hard to access products. And even to this day, it's still hard. Unfortunately, Australia is very diverse, very multicultural, but they lack in a lot of things. Um, so I had the idea, but I still didn't do anything because I was like, I was not confident to be like, oh, okay, let me, because anytime you're starting something, there's always that element of fear. And I was afraid because I was like, oh, like, what if it fails, you know?
Yeah.
One day, my dad actually came to me and he was like, Rue, why don't you start your own beauty brand? I didn't vocalize this to my dad at all. It's like my sign came in my dad. Like that
He
was
saw
my
it in you.
sign. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the audible voice that I needed to say, yes, go ahead. Because
Yeah.
he just came to me. I'd not uttered a single word to my dad, but he was like, Rue, why don't you start your own beauty brand? Because I think maybe he had seen like my daughter is like very creative. Maybe, maybe she can do this, because even when I was younger, like I mentioned before, I used to do makeup on my little sister and
Yeah.
used to do dress up stuff and used to be, creating stuff with my siblings. So, yeah, that was really like, okay, that's my drive, that's what I wanted to do. And like I mentioned before, I want people to have a seat at the table.
Mm.
Beauty should be accessible for everybody. It's not just for one particular group, it's for everyone. And we all have the power to define what beauty is for ourselves. And I wanted people to be able to have that place where they felt safe, they felt seen, they felt validated.
What do you think is the cause behind, I guess, such a discrepancy, like whether it's in Australia or like anywhere else? Like, what do you think is the reason behind the inaccessibility to to beauty and cosmetic resources across so many diverse groups?
I think just in general as society, that people have been conditioned to feel like beauty has to be a certain way. When that's not the case, beauty doesn't have to be a certain way. Beauty can change over time. And I feel like because there's that mindset that beauty has to be a certain way, it kind of removes that accessibility. Because if right now, if I'm a person who, let's say, I have freckles on my face and let's say I'm a woman of color because I am a woman of color. If I go into a makeup store and I'm seeing somebody who doesn't look like me, that
Mm,
doesn't really give me any confidence. Like, oh, like I can do this as well, you
yeah,
know?
yeah.
And I feel like that's probably one of the reasons where nobody has access. Like nobody, like that's the problem. It's because the beauty is not actually diverse. There is a standard that we've been conditioned to pursue and chase after, but that's not the reality. Everybody's different,
Hmm.
you know? Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. And like, I think it's super great that you found that missing component in the market and you're trying to, I guess, fill that gap for, diverse communities, for women of color, for people who, enter the store and they feel like it's a waste of their time.
Mm,
Um, I'm curious though, when it came to, you got that like that push from your dad that, that you weren't even looking for, it kind of just came naturally. I'm curious
yeah.
about the other side. Did anyone like ever try and talk you out of it, convince you otherwise? Like, Was there anyone really, I guess, against the idea or against what you were trying to do?
Well, being an African-born child, being a creative person,
Yeah.
it's kind of frowned upon. So I remember when I finished my photography, obviously being a creative person, it's kind of really hard to break through into those industries. And I had family questioning like, oh, like, what are you doing with your life? Like, how are you going to be able to achieve this, and questioning me, right? And I remember speaking to somebody, a family member, I'm not going to identify who they are, but I remember speaking to a family member, and they were like, oh, cosmetics, like, how are you going to build a beauty brand? Like, who's going to wear makeup, you know? And I'm a person, I believe in myself, and I will shut people down when it comes to my dreams and it comes to my vision. I literally told them, like, I will do it.
It's always interesting, like, especially, like, I'm the same, obviously, right? Like, coming from the Zimbabwean community, coming from an African community, like, a lot of the times, if you're not going into business, if you're not going into medicine, if you're not going into law, there's everyone's like, "What are you doing? Like, what do you mean you wanna be an artist? What do you mean you wanna start a makeup brand? What do you mean you wanna be a musician?" Like, it's a crazy thing that we do, but, like, I'm hoping that, like, as particular, like, our generation, how we've experienced that kind of shift and that kind of like, maybe to them it doesn't come across as judgment, but it certainly feels like judgment.
Mm,
But now that we've experienced that, like, I'm hoping that, we stop it here. And so, like, our kids, like, your baby daughter, like, when she grows up and she wants to do whatever it is she finds that's her passion, like, I hope that
yeah,
her friends and her family are like, "Yeah, go do it." Like, what is stopping you?
yeah.
So when you finally launch the brand, when you finally, when you put yourself out there, what were some early mistakes? What didn't go to plan for you?
I'll say that my early mistakes was not taking my time. It's like they say, slow and steady wins the race. I wish I had taken my time in terms of like sourcing the products themselves and communicating with manufacturers. I wish I'd taken my time because there was a product that I launched. So my liquid matte lipsticks, those were a flop. The
Mhm.
reason is that with matte products themselves, they can be drying. And if the formula is not correct, then you end up having crumbly lips and it's just a hot mess. So if I had taken my time to test out multiple different formulas, instead of launching with the formula that I actually launched with, then perhaps I would have released a successful product. Like, I just wish I had taken time. And also another challenge is being in Australia, my manufacturers are overseas. There's only so much that you can do communicating with messages and emails. There's only just so much. If I had been present and physically there, I could have tested things out. I could have told them like, I don't like this, you know? Because even ordering the samples themselves, it costs a lot of money. And most of the manufacturers do USDs, not AUDs. So USDs are a lot of money.
Yeah.
Um, so if I had been in person, I don't think I would have made that mistake at all.
Yeah.
But I feel like when I did launch my second lip product, which was our lip glosses, I did really well. I took my time. I tested multiple different formulas. I also asked other people to test for me as well before I decided to go ahead. And that product, our lip glosses, they sold overnight. I was really surprised that I actually sold out a product. Like my phone
Yeah,
just
wow.
kept buzzing and my website said sold out. So I was really, really excited about that. And even now with me being on this business sabbatical, because I've not been doing anything for almost 2 years,
Yeah, wow.
people are still looking. They're like, oh, like, where's the brand? I actually got a message this past week. Someone was looking for the website. They clicked on the website link. There's no website. And they messaged me like, hey girl, I tried to buy a product last year. but the website is not there, you know? They wanted to buy this multi-purpose shimmer powders and they're like, the website is not there. And I was like, oh, like we're coming back eventually. But, I created products that actually people love and taking that time to create quality. Because quality over quantity, I love quality stuff. And whenever I create a product, I always try to put myself in the shoes of my customers to be like, oh, like, are people actually gonna like this? You know? Yeah. So with those lip glosses that I launched, I also initiated influencers. I feel like influencers really helped a lot. I was scared to do it because it's like you're giving away a lot of products and you might not get a return on your investment. But
Yeah.
I feel like I did a really good job in picking the influencers that I did pick. Because even till this day, even with me being away, they still rock with the brand. They still want to be a part of what I'm doing. Yeah.
Yeah. For anyone listening, like who, might be looking to start a similar type business or brand, or anyone's trying to start any kind of brand, really, like, what was the process in terms of, sourcing and engaging manufacturers and distributors? And also, like, on the other side, what was the process of sourcing and engaging influencers? Because I've definitely met a lot of people who have tried to engage influencers and it just like they just either don't hear back or maybe the price point is off. But like, I'd love to get your experience of, doing the due diligence behind finding your manufacturers, but also doing the due diligence behind, connecting with people to help promote your brand essentially as well.
Okay, so what I did at the beginning is I just used Google. Whatever I wanted to do, I would type in lipstick manufacturers, foundation manufacturers. I don't have a foundation yet, but it'll come one day.
Mhm.
Uh, uh, multi-purpose shimmer powder manufacturers. I typed that in Google, and when you type in those type of things in Google, it'll come up with a list of manufacturers that you can start to work with. Um, but as you're probably aware, there is a platform called Alibaba.
Mhm.
Alibaba is a platform that has manufacturers for everything that you can literally think of. If you want to create a clothing line, it's there. If you want to create a house products, it's there.
Yeah.
So being on that platform, you have to go through, find the winner. Like
Yes.
there's a lot of people over there manufacturing, creating stuff. You have to find the winner. You have to message them, test out that product. If you like that product, then you go ahead. If you like the formulations, you go ahead. It can be
Yeah.
a hit or a miss because I'm in Australia. Majority of them are in China. So, that is my biggest challenge because I live here, but they're over there. And also with engaging influencers. The way that I've done it is I follow them, I engage with our posts, and I reach out to them. But the way that I reach out to them, they know that I'm a growing brand. I tried to build a relationship with them first. I don't just try to go there and be like, hey, just can you create content for my brand? I build a relationship and that's over time. And with me, I scout people. Like I'm always looking at the way that they post. Does that align with my brand?
Yeah. Yeah.
Does that align with who I am as a person? That's how I make my decisions. I don't just do things haphazardly. I actually take some time to be like, okay, this is how it's going to work. Because most of the influencers that I did engage, they're lovely people. Like, honestly, they're just lovely. I see the way that they engage with their followers. Like, oh, I respect that. You're kind and you are approachable. I try to see that character. Obviously, you can't see a person's character fully being online, but
Yeah.
I just try to just see like, okay, would they be a good fit for my brand before I decide that I want to pursue an influencer brand relationship with them?
How would you say building this brand, how did it change you?
Well, I would say it changed my perspective on business. When I went in, I thought that it would be easy, but it's
Um,
not easy. It's not easy, especially when you're doing majority of everything by yourself. So I'm the creative director. I source things.
yeah,
I communicate with the influencers, I do the marketing, everything by myself. So I definitely understood that business is not an easy thing, you know? It's a thing that you have to constantly work towards and always encouraging yourself because there are times where things are really, really hard. There are times when you don't even have any sales come through. And
yeah,
I just have to pivot and come up with ideas like, oh, how can I engage more people? How can I engage my influencers as well? What can I do to bring in those sales? How can I get a profit for all these products that I'm
yeah,
investing in? You know what I mean?
yeah,
So it was very interesting to see that because a lot of people they talk about business and they talk about their success, and you see them driving the Lambos and flying the private jets, but they don't tell you like, oh, sometimes you're gonna lose money. Because there was a time where I ordered multi-purpose shimmer powders. The manufacturer sent me the wrong shade, and when they sent me the wrong shade, they're like, okay, we'll replace this wrong shade with the correct one. But when they sent the correct one didn't have any lids. So now I had to use the lids from the incorrect to sell the actual product that I wanted to sell, you know?
yeah, yeah,
And I lost money. I could have sold those other ones, but they didn't have lids now.
yeah, of course.
So you go through those type of things in business, just like, oh, I lost money, you know, I could have made a lot of money with this product, but I've just lost money. And a lot
Yeah,
of people don't tell you that there are losses, you know? They also don't tell you that when you're doing a business, sometimes the support won't come. You
yeah,
can
yeah,
post stuff on your social media like, hey, because right now because I haven't done anything on my Instagram page or any marketing, Instagram does this weird thing where you get pushed down the algorithm.
uh,
So I'm just trying to get back on the algorithm, and that comes
yeah,
through engagement. And
yeah,
sometimes people don't want to engage. Like,
yeah,
be my ops. Like, what's going on? You know? And what I've learned, because I've been watching other founders and people doing their own thing, sometimes support doesn't come from home, it comes from outside. Like people that are strangers, those are the ones that are rooting for you. It's really weird because you think that people that know you be like, oh my gosh, like I'm really excited for you. I really want to support this. But it's like everybody's just watching. It's just like, why are you just watching? It's weird.
What
But
do,
yeah,
what do you think? What do you think is the like? I guess the cause of that. Like, why is it so hard? Like, I definitely agree. I definitely agree. It's like, why is it so hard to get your friends, sometimes even your family, just to get behind what you're doing?
I think maybe people are afraid of you getting ahead of them before they get ahead of you. You know? I think there's sometimes
Yeah,
this secret competition. Like they won't tell it to your face, but I feel like sometimes there's some element of secret competition to be like, oh, what's gonna come out of that? Is she actually gonna be successful doing what she's doing? You know?
yeah,
I
yeah,
feel like that's probably why people don't support because they're just like, oh, let's see what they're gonna do. Like some of them are probably hoping that you would fail. And I think that's
yeah.
probably why you don't get support from home. It's very weird. I don't
It
understand
is.
it.
It
But
is.
yeah.
And I think it's especially funny how, like, when you are successful, when you do make it, like, all of a sudden, all of these people are suddenly around so much more, and they wanna brag about you, and they "Yeah, I know that person." Like,
Yeah, they're
"Yeah,
like, oh my God, I remember that girl. I
yeah,
used to go to school with her. She's
yeah,
doing
yeah,
this. And it's just like, why were you not there when I was starting? Why do you have to be there when I'm in my glory? You know, it doesn't make sense. Just be there from the start. Just there's room for everybody. Just be there from the start. You don't have to be there because now when I reach success,
Mm.
right? I don't think I'm gonna want to sit at the same table as you. Just
Yeah.
be honest. It's just like I don't know why you're coming around now.
Yeah.
I
No,
don't know what your motive
absolutely.
is now.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where it's like, you really want to get behind people very early in their journey. And this is exactly why I started this show, right? It's because like I want to hear everyone's stories, but I also want everyone to like people listening. I want them to
Mm,
follow along. I want them to follow along on your journey after listening to you. If this is how they get introduced to you and everything as well,
yeah.
so that they can truly, genuinely say they supported you from from when you were taking off, essentially, pun
Yeah.
intended.
Yeah.
In business, in
Mm.
entrepreneurship, in solopreneurship, in your case, like what are some beliefs that you had to unlearn?
Um, Doing it by yourself. Yeah. I think that's something that I'm still unlearning. Because there's the African proverb that says if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together. I think it's important to understand that to bring forth a dream, just like bringing forth a child, it requires a team. You have your
Yeah,
doctors, you have your midwives.
yeah,
It's the same with a dream. You need that support to bring it forth. I feel like I wouldn't have, because I experienced burnout. I wouldn't have been burnt out had I gone with someone, had I had someone I could bounce off ideas. I wouldn't have made the mistakes that I made if I even had a mentor or a coach. I really wouldn't have, like, I wouldn't have burnt out. I would still, maybe right now, I'll be a millionaire. Who knows? Right? Because some of your favorite brands, they don't have one person in doing everything. They don't. They have a
yeah,
team. They have
yeah,
people like bringing forth the vision. And that's something that I'm still unlearning because, like I said before, I'm a multifaceted person. I can do a lot of things. So it's just learning, like, oh, hey, I actually need help. It's okay to ask for help. You don't have to do
yeah,
everything by yourself. It's okay to be like, hey, I actually need your help with this.
yeah. Like it's one of those things. Like when you know that you have multiple skill sets, naturally you want to use them first out of like,
Mm,
maybe it's efficiency. It's not necessarily that you think you're the best at what you do, but it's like, maybe I'll just get it done faster if I do it myself. Maybe I can save some money if I do it myself. Like there's lots of different reasons why I guess we like I experienced the exact same thing for me with with my music, for example.
mm,
My mom has been telling me for years, she's been saying, just work with a songwriter. And in my head, I'm like, that's not my song. If someone
mm,
else has written it, that's not my song. And for me, like everything is storytelling. I'm like,
mm.
that's not my story. I'm just singing someone else's story essentially. And that's something that I'm trying to unlearn where I'm like, man, I really just need to let more people into the creative process
Yeah,
and allow myself to work collaboratively with more people to get the results that I want to get. So like, yeah, I 100% align with you on that front.
yeah.
How do you then go about, you've just gotten married, you've just had this beautiful baby girl. Like, how do you go about juggling your ambitions in business, your full-time job, and the family as well? Like, what is it? What keeps you going?
I'm still navigating everything because I've just become a mother. So,
Yeah,
I think it's important to have people that support you. I have a very supportive husband. So, like right now, he is with our daughter. He's giving me space to be here right now.
yeah,
And if I need a babysitter, I have my parents. They love being around her. They were actually here last night. They they absolutely love our daughter. So it's important to have a village to help you when you need help. Like I mentioned before, have help so that you don't crash and burn. Have that help. If help is available, take it. And like with work, at the moment I'm on maternity leave, but with work, I'll cross that bridge when I reach there, because I don't know what that's gonna look like when I start working and also starting my brand again, because Um, I'm relaunching a new product, so I don't know how that's going to be when I finally relaunch and starting to be doing the entrepreneur life again. That's still in a cloud somewhere. The cloud has not come down yet. It's still somewhere there. Um, but yeah, uh, but I think it's good that I do have my support. I have my husband, I have my parents, I have my
Yeah.
siblings.
Yeah.
So if I ever need them, they're right there.
I want to touch on something you spoke about a little bit ago, and that was, the fact that you haven't done much with the business for the last couple of years.
Mm.
Um, what what led to that point of pause? Like what led to that pause, and what's, I guess, getting you to, what's firing you up to start again?
Okay, so what led to that pause is life happens to all of us. And like I mentioned, I was burnt out. I was frustrated because I'm spending hours editing on Photoshop, doing, trying to create a set for my products. It
Yeah.
was a lot for me, and also a lot in my personal life where I just like was like, I have to pull back.
Yeah.
I love Ruvé Cosmetics so much that I wanted to be my best and I wanted to serve our customers 100%, not with my glass half full. And that's why I decided to take that break to be like, okay, wait, Ru, let's see what can you do better. It's okay to have that time to just pull back. Be like, okay, what can I like assess yourself? What can I give right now? Because at the time, I had nothing to give. My life felt like it was falling apart. I was not going to be my best to serve my customers and to continue like the lovable, the lovable culture that I built with the brand.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I needed that time to pull back, and I feel like knowing your why when life happens, that will be your anchor. My why is what's pushing me back to like pulling me back to like being this beauty founder, Ruvé Cosmetics, my why. And my why is to see a truly inclusive beauty industry, an industry where everyone is seen, everybody's validated, and everyone has a seat at the table. Like that's my mission
Yeah.
and that's my why. That's my
Yeah.
anchor.
That's so good. And I like, looking into the future, like what's exciting you right now and what are you building towards?
What's exciting me right now is Australia has so much potential, so much untapped potential, right? And that's what excites me. There's not a lot of people doing this. There's some makeup brands that are coming up, but it's not as saturated as it would be, like, let's say in America or other countries. Australia is like a baby country. There's so much room to grow, and there's so much room to be like to be the face of beauty in Australia.
Yeah.
Like, in Australia, like I mentioned before, it's a very diverse nation, so multicultural. There is room for diversity here. There's room for inclusivity over here. So much room for it. And I guess sometimes it's a mindset shift. You have to be like, oh, like, because a lot of people look at Australia like, oh my gosh, there's no opportunities. Australia is this, Australia is that, but it's your mindset. You have to switch your mindset
Yeah.
to be like, actually, wait a minute. I can start something here. It's not overly saturated. I can actually do something in Australia. Because a lot of people complain like, oh, like Australia is not diverse. Australia is this, Australia is that. No, Australia is a gold mine that has not been tapped into. There is there is room here, so much room for everybody. And sometimes you have to be the one. to create the change that you wanted to see in the world. You have to be the catalyst for that change. It's not going to happen overnight. Obviously, you have to plant that seed and keep watering that seed, and eventually that seed will grow into something beautiful. And that's what I've done with Ruvé Cosmetics. I have planted that seed. I am watering that seed, and eventually one day, Australia will be looked at and people will be like, wow, Australia just has a very diverse industry. Like, it's very inclusive, you know? We're seeing different ethnicities on the TV screen, in media, in music, everything. Like, there is room. So much.
There is space, and yeah, it's time we take up that space. That's for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, one thing that's happening in these podcast episodes is I've got 3 rapid fire questions that I'm asking every single guest that appears on the show. So are you
Okay.
ready?
I'm kind of nervous, but I
Yeah, they're pretty fine, I think.
okay.
So looking back at your journey, what is one thing you would do again?
One thing that I would do again.
Don't even think about it. Just the first thing that comes to mind.
I think one thing that I would do again is I really can't think of anything right now. I don't even know one thing I'll do again. Because like my things like right now I'm trying to like pivot and trying to do better than I did last time. So
Mhm.
I don't know if there's something that I'll do again. I know that there's something that I'll do different. And like I mentioned before, what I'll do different
Yeah.
is not go by myself, not
Yeah.
do it by myself, because I wanted to reach a higher height.
Yeah.
I don't want to just be who I was yesterday. I'm always evolving, I'm always growing. So I want to grow and evolve and become somebody else, you know,
Totally.
become a brand that's recognized globally. That's what I wanted to do. Yeah. So I'd say that one. I don't know if I would do it. I made a lot of mistakes.
So on the flip side, what's one thing you'd never do again?
One thing I'd never do again is, I guess, rush myself.
Mhm.
There's no reason to rush myself.
Yeah.
I can pace myself, take my time. Because I mentioned before, slow and steady wins the race.
Absolutely.
Taking my time will ensure my success. Not feel like, oh my gosh, I'm running out of time, I'm running out of time. Everything happens in seasons. And right now, my season is to take my time,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
I don't need to rush anything. What's for me is for me, and it'll find me. I don't need to feel like I'm missing out on anything. I just need to be content with where I am right now and do that. Because when I first started, I was doing a lot. I was just like, oh my gosh, like let me launch this, let me do this. Just take my time. And also another thing that I'll say is to not be scared. I feel like I was really, really scared when I started. So I'm just trying to be fearless and be more bold. I remember that there were people that would reach out to me for opportunities to feature in magazines, I had so many opportunities just coming into my mailbox of like even agencies wanting to work with the brand.
Yeah,
I
wow.
was scared. I didn't. I was just like, I don't know where all of this is coming from. But this time I want to do it unafraid. I want to be fearless. I want to be bold. I want to be confident within myself and the decisions that I make for the brand to ensure its growth. I don't want to be the one who stands in my way because of my own fears, you know?
Yeah.
I have
Yeah.
to step out. I have to just do it. Nike says just do it. I just have to do it scared. Okay? Yeah.
Yeah. No, I love that. I
Yes.
love that. And finally, the last question, what is one piece of advice you wish someone told you before you started your journey?
One piece of advice is I think know exactly why you're starting. Like obviously I knew why I was starting, but for somebody who's starting, just know why, your reason, your outcome. why you're starting, what your end goal is. Know what it is that you're doing. A lot of
Yeah.
people start
Yeah.
things, they don't have an idea what exactly they want to accomplish starting that thing. You know, they don't have an anchor. Like I mentioned before, when life happens, when you're not making sales, the support is quiet, knowing why will ground you. It'll be your anchor and it'll keep you pushing. It'll keep that momentum. You know, you'll keep just going, okay, I failed, but I'll pick myself back up. Know why you're doing something. Don't just do something just for the sake of doing something. Some people just do
Yeah.
something because they just want to make money, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But the reality is sometimes when you're doing business, money might not come. Some people might not like what you release. Okay?
Yeah.
Know why you're doing it so that you don't get burnt out. You don't end up like frustrated, like, oh my gosh, nobody's supporting me, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because like I mentioned before, support does come. Sometimes it will come from outside. It won't come from home.
Yeah.
So I think that's
Yeah.
important to just know why you're doing something. And also, like I mentioned before, do it afraid. Just throw yourself into the unknown. You don't know what your future holds. You know your present, but you don't know your future.
Yeah.
Plant the seed for your future. Start small, and eventually that small thing that you did today will grow. You just have to keep watering it and take your time.
100%. 100%. Rue, thank you so much. It's been so lovely speaking with you and getting to hear a bit about your story. Tell the people listening, where can they find you? How can they support you? How can they get behind what you're doing?
So at the moment, you can find me on the Ruvé Cosmetics Instagram. Just give us a follow over there. I'm posting posts right now, and eventually I'll announce when the website is launching. I actually have one of the products right here in my hand. So this is the product that we're launching really soon. So I've been creating content for that at the moment. So just give us a follow there and yeah, and support, comment, engage, please. But yeah, thank you so much for having me be a part of this.
Thank you. Thank you. And yeah, really appreciate you taking the time to speak with me this morning. It's a lovely Saturday morning. I know you got a young baby girl who needs
Mm.
her mom, so I will let you get back to her. But for anyone listening, thank you for joining once again on this episode of Before We Take Off. We're looking forward to seeing you next time. Thanks. Thanks again.
Bye.
You know what? We about to take off.